Record. Record is on.
See if I can get this to pop up.
I see something. Beloved Café. There it is. Wow. Very nice looking. Okay.
All right, there we go.
Go ahead.
All right, now if I understand correctly, I am supposed to be the designer and I am selling you on my design?
That sounds good. Sure.
Okay. So all I've done is the dining room, and so let's get started.
You bet.
Here's the layout. It may be a little hard to see because I used Smart Draw and it was a trial.
Gotcha. But it looks fine. Looks fine.
Yeah. So you have 8 tables. They're round tables.
Uh-huh.
And 4 chairs to a table with a couple of extra just in case. Let's see here. Can't find my mouse. But if you can see, you can see the kitchen area, and just to the front of that are 2 rectangles. That's where the register and glass front display case will be. So everything is kind of set up around that. So you have a very open floor plan.
Gotcha.
All right, here's a list of the furniture. I've planned for 8 round tables. They're 48 inches each, like 48 inches round. 36 chairs. They're the beechwood style. They're let's see, the tables and the chairs are both in a walnut finish. So they're kind of a dark wood finish. And then I've designed the chairs with a black padded seat. So they're just wood with a black padded seat. I've planned for 4 wooden high chairs because everybody has to deal with little people. And something you may not have noticed, but in the previous slide, on either side of the kitchen were 4 bookshelves, and they just look like rectangles. But those 4 bookshelves are there because, well, we can cover that later too, but my dream is to have books, board games, other things like that available for the customers so that they can come in and relax. So we've got those 4 bookshelves, and I've got them ceiling height, so they're 8 feet tall, 3 feet wide, and 10 inches deep. And I've designed all this with the thought that the register and glass display case are already in place, which, even with that, the entire dining room floor space is going to be 1,392 square feet. So you've got quite a bit of room to work with.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going with a nautical theme. So the windows will be trimmed with off-white canvas in a drape, not really quite sure what to call it, but a draped style. So we'll have black iron curtain rods and fastenings, and then the canvas will be draped up over those rods and down each side. Beside each door, I plan to have 2 old-fashioned lantern-style wall lamps. So you'll have 1 on either side of each door. I've also planned to have 3 large potted plants in the room, 1 by each door and 1 by the register, because I feel that every room should have plants of some sort. It brings a little extra life to the room.
Sure.
And then, of course, I've written down that we'll have those books and board games assorted. The basic lighting structures, which I've planned for flat round LED overhead lamps, should already be in place, so we shouldn't have to worry about those. Here's our color scheme. Planned for blue. That'll be dark and light blue, which you can see here on the page. Off-white, that will be our canvas for the windows. Black, all of the fixtures will be black iron, so that'll be like your curtain rods, doorknobs, anything like that will be black iron. Any wood will be stained a walnut color, and white for the walls. All right, final touches. I haven't included these in the budget because essentially they're part of the kitchen, but everything is set up to focus around this color scheme. So we will have white plates, bowls, and mugs. The glasses should just be clear glass, not colored. Plain silverware, so no fancy shapes, just your basic silverware, and all your other accessories in white. Basically, I have planned my entire theme around the color white because it's very light, it's very inviting. Okay, let me know if I'm going too fast for you.
Oh, you're doing fine. I'll ask questions when we're done.
Okay. All right. Here's a breakdown of the budget. So the required items for the dining area, which is, you know, basically your furniture. I've got our tables, our chairs, and our high chairs. All of this will be coming from webstrontstore.com. And they have a deal where if you sign up for a membership with them, it's $100 a month and you get free shipping. So you get their membership for a month, get everything shipped to you for $100. So that's all included. The extra things for the dining area, I've included the canvas for window trimmings at 30 yards, curtain rods and fastenings, the plants, and bookshelves and wall lamps. All of this together is going to come to, with an extra $5,000 for unforeseen expenses, will be a total of $10,650.64. And we can just round it up to 651. Might make it easier. All right. Here's what you can expect when you step into the dining room. Plenty of natural lighting because I have 6 windows, I believe, in the dining room, and they take up most of the wall space. You can see the bookshelves will be white, and I plan to have old books, so like things that you've picked up from, say, a thrift store or, you know, other places like that, knickknacks and board games. I particularly like chess and checkers, so those two will definitely be on there.
Sure.
I've left lots of space between tables. One of my pet peeves is going into a restaurant and not being able to move around the table.
Sure.
So we've left lots of room between the tables. Again, I've listed those plants in here because that pop of green just brings life to any room. The floor will be in a slightly lighter shade than the tables and chairs. It will also be in walnut, just a lighter shade. Yeah, I listed the walls again because I want you to really get a feeling of what to expect. So the walls will be white, so that gives you a lot of reflected light. The black iron will be mostly hidden by the off-white canvas drapes, but again, you'll be able to see it just a bit. And then we'll have that black lantern style wall lamps beside the doors to give it that, I'm not quite sure what the word is, but to give it that old-fashioned feeling, just to give it that, you know, that extra touch.
Yeah.
And then if you look outside the windows, because it's very important, you know, you're sitting in the restaurant, you're eating, you want to be able to look outside and enjoy yourself. It's going to be in downtown Rolla, and so you should be able to look out and watch the street, you know, watch the people walk by and just enjoy seeing all the busyness outside while you relax inside. I plan to have quiet music playing, so it'll add to that relaxed feeling.
Okay.
And that should be instrumental music rather than anything with lyrics. I really don't appreciate lyrics when I'm trying to relax.
Right.
Here's a little bit about our staff. We'll have an emphasis on them being kind, courteous, and sincere. So, you know, train them to give compliments, be sincere about it, you know, be polite. The dress code is very, very simple because I plan to have some staff there who aren't necessarily from your mainstream culture. So say some of the Mennonites from our area, they tend to wear, you know, for the men it'll be full-length pants, button-up shirts, and for the women it'll be cape dresses and a veil on their head. So I won't require them to wear pants or a different type of skirt. However, they will be required to wear a black apron, half or full length, non-slip shoes to be worn at all times, and then their clothing, preferably in black, blue, or white, bottoms can also be khaki, has to be neat and clean all the time. So no wrinkles and preferably no t-shirts. You know, let's stick to something a little more formal.
Gotcha.
Okay. And let's see here. Here's our hours. So we'll have it open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day except holidays, because I think it's very important that people can rely on you to be open. You know, sometimes I go to one of my favorite restaurants and it's like, oh, they only had a half day today or something like that. So I want people to be confident when they're coming to our restaurant that they know our hours. So the only days that the cafe will be closed will be holidays. We'll be serving a variety of soups, salads, and sandwiches, lots and lots of pastries, and I've got a short list here of some of our items, like the names, and I can describe those a little for you if you like.
Sure.
Let's see, here's a couple of our options. So I've written seafood chowder with soda bread. That's something that I had when I was in Ireland last year. Absolutely amazing. It's a bit like clam chowder, but with other types of seafood in it, a richer taste. It's a wonderful.
Cool.
The soda bread is a dark bread, so it's got a very rich taste. And we'll be making that right there at the cafe.
Okay.
Red harvest salad, that's something I learned to make when I was in Bolivia. And it's essentially a cooked salad. So it's made with beets, potatoes, carrots, and then it has a dressing. And it is wonderful. The whole thing is red.
Wow.
The whale is a sandwich.
Oh, okay.
That was inspired by my trip to Scotland last year when we went into a fish and chips shop and somebody had she had fish and chips, obviously, but the fish was so big. They brought it out and she looked at it and she's this cute little Scotch woman and she goes, "Oh, it's Moby Dick."
Oh, cool.
So the whale will also be a seafood item.
Okay.
But that will have a fish sandwich, essentially.
Okay.
And then, of course, I have my favorite. This is a pastry. That's pumpkin spice horns. And that's something I've created myself. It's somewhat similar to, say, a cinnamon roll. But it's made with pumpkin, and then it has a pumpkin spice blend sprinkled over rather than just cinnamon sugar. And it's topped with the vanilla icing. So all the flavors are very distinct.
Wow.
Everything will be made right there at the cafe with the freshest ingredients possible. So everything will have a very fresh taste and be very, what's the word I'm looking for? I want it to be comfort food.
Okay.
So, okay. Our target group, like for who we're targeting there in Rolla, it's going to be downtown. So most of the people who are coming around in that area are from the middle class or they're from the college group. We have Missouri S&T, so there are a lot of college students. We're going to try to keep the prices very affordable. So a full meal should be about $7, and that would include either a drink or a dessert. And then, of course, it's a cafe. You have to have your coffees and your teas. So we should have a broad range of ethically sourced coffees and teas. And the teas, I want to stick to something organic if possible. We have quite a few people in the area who really like the organic foods. They like the organic teas, that kind of thing. So we want to stick with that. I think we're at the end here. Here's the description and our mission statement, which was also on the PDF I gave you. Yeah. Our goal is just to provide comfort and positivity to people of all ages. So that's it.
Excellent. Well, this was very well done. I think you brought your spec very well together. How did you arrive at a nautical theme? I looked on the map and Rolla seems to be pretty far from almost any body of water.
It really is. We are landlocked. I came to a nautical theme because I've spent so much time around the oceans, especially growing up and traveling, and I absolutely love the ocean. I love water. And so to me, the ocean is very comforting. It's almost like, when I think of comfort, that's what I think of. I think of the ocean. I think of anything to do with water, or, I guess I could have gone with, say, like a forest theme, but to me
Yeah,
that felt too dark. So I wanted
right.
something light, and a nautical theme just fit that, especially when I was going with the I knew I wanted to have like the books and the game pieces and all that. And when I thought of chess and I thought of people playing board games at their tables and
Uh-huh.
I thought of these old books, all I could think of was like kind of like a treasure chest.
Uh-huh.
You have all these special things in one place. You open it up and you're just amazed every time by what's in it, even if you put all that stuff there yourself.
Mhm.
So again, that nautical theme.
Cool. Well, this reminds me very much of a couple of coffee houses that we have out here in our area. They're not nautical themed, but the idea of open spaces and um, menu like what you have reminds me of those. So it could almost be a coffee house kind of uh, environment. At them, they have special activities sometimes. In the
Hmm.
evenings or on weekends, they may have a small band come in and play, or a small, I guess in your case, maybe it'd be a string quartet or something. Poetry readings, what else? Well, things like that are the things that they have going there. And another thing about the nautical theme, boy, this is incredibly wide open for any of your design stuff. I mean, you could have anchors and nets on the walls, and you could go really wild. But I like your idea of keeping it subtle and sophisticated. That's cool. So, how big are the colleges in and near Rolla? Any
Uh,
idea?
I want to say that Missouri S&T was about 20,000 students
Ooh,
last I heard,
okay,
but I think it's gone up since then.
sure. Okay. Uh, Love the menu. The whale sandwich reminds me of well, I like seafood, but only a limited amount. But the whale sandwich sounds like a big McDonald's fish sandwich to me. But I think yours it'll be on a hard bun. Is that right? Or a hoagie
Yeah,
bun?
I
Okay.
was thinking probably a hoagie or something along those lines.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's see. Music, books, poetry. What else have I got here? You won't have any TVs up on the wall, will ya? Like
No,
sports
I
TV?
feel that they distract
Yeah,
more than
yeah,
anything, and I want it to be a place where people can come and have that almost a family feel. So like put your cell phone down, play a
mhm,
game, read a book, talk to your family or your friends.
sure, sure. So you would be renting a space that's already in downtown. The reason I ask is one of the coffee houses I'm thinking of, they actually put it up in a house, in a
Hmm.
home, and they cleared it out. So the size of your thing would fit if you had to pick that instead. What kind of rent do you anticipate paying for something like this? Any ideas?
Uh, Honestly, I am not sure. It's
Yeah.
been a while since I looked into that, so I'd
Uh-huh.
have to look it up again
I
to
guess
get.
it would be on the basis of per square foot.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Now the round tables. What if somebody wanted to bring in like 10 people and all have them sit at the same table? Is there some way to, I wonder, do they make round tables that can,
Expand.
yeah, pull apart and put in a spacer or something?
I have seen something like that, and I did
Uh-huh.
think of that. My thought was that could be one of those unforeseen expenses, and I could budget in to buy a few folding tables for really large groups.
Mhm. Okay. The mention of the Mennonites was interesting to me. We don't have too many of them out here in the Bay Area, but would they, I suppose they'd like nautical food. Maybe they like fish. I'm just
Yes.
thinking, okay.
And the reason that I included them in this particular design, in this particular plan, should I say, is because I actually had worked on designing another restaurant, another cafe, and some of the girls that I was working with are Mennonite. They want
Okay.
to work for me, so
Uh-huh.
that's why I've included them in this presentation.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Well, those are the only questions I had. I think this was a beautiful, brilliant presentation. The ideas exciting, and it'd be nice if you could make it happen. But I'm sure you've got other things to do. But I enjoyed it very much.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me?
Not that I can think of.
That's good. That's good. I don't have too many answers. I'm knuckling down, and I'm going to be grading all this coming week. So
Oh,
we'll get
well, good
everything
luck.
done. Yeah.
Finals is such a big week.
Yeah. Well, I've made our final optional, so you don't have to take it. If you got enough points from everything else, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not. Our goal is to have how many points again?
Well, I think it's like 900 or something.
Okay.
So you can
So
go
I'll have
back.
to work toward that as best I can.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll keep a watch, and I'll let you know if how far we are from the end, if you need anything. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to stop the recording here.